This is Goku-san, DBZ, and welcome back to my newest game review. First one in a while, and I apologize for that. This is a special, as I promised, review for a game I just recently started playing. So far, I'm probably about 4 hours into the game. I'm probably about third mark or so on the game. From what I understand, game overall takes on average about 10 or 12 hours to beat. Now, the first thing to note, of course, obviously, this is a horror-themed game. Your main protagonist, obviously, him. Now, basically, at the beginning of Deathmark, you are this individual. Now, you can tell one thing, there's no normal, like, CG type video clips or anything. The gameplay is more or less just text-based, and decision-making is the main elements to this game, you should know. So there's not a lot of emphasis on gameplay, it's more decision-making, questioning, using, I guess you could say, investigating route more so than anything else, gathering facts and clues to solve the mystery of the death mark you discover on your arm, which looks like a bite mark from a supernatural mystical creature. Now, interestingly enough, as I said, this is very much text-based driven, so obviously you're going to be reading everything. So, if you're somebody who prefers having audio to your game, CG clips and everything like that, Deathmark is definitely not a game for you. I can honestly say that right now. If you don't mind a lot of heavy text-based, lots of reading involved, as well as you care more about the actual story elements, storytelling and everything, and you like games that you actually have to investigate, gather clues and things, you'll appreciate this. Specifically, I feel as somebody who grew up in the 90s that enjoyed old school survival horror games like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, games of that nature, Fatal Frame, or old school text-based RPGs such as the old school Final Fantasy games, you're not going to probably mind Deathmark as much, honestly, because you're going to be used to the more heavy base text and everything, and the amount of reading that is going to be involved and stuff. And yeah, at first, there's no big deal on the decision-making, though it can change certain outcomes of things. But later on, a little bit farther on the game, probably about an hour into the game or so, you'll realize that you'll end up having time limits on certain decision-making, like when you're gathering clues going to places like abandoned haunted school, elementary school and stuff. You will be given a limited amount of time, which will give you, like, I guess you could say, some similar HP and stuff. And if you don't make the decisions in that amount of time you have and stuff, if you run out of those points and stuff in decision-making, you don't make your decisions quick enough in time, you will die and you will immediately fail the mission. So that's something to keep in mind if you're planning on playing Deathmark. Expect lots of text reading and stuff, but I will say, even though it's still pictures and stuff in the game, the artwork is good. I honestly feel, for the most part, the artwork is really well executed, and that's very important for still pictures and stuff with the text. That's very key, that the art has to be solid. Also, I will say the music is superb in the game. It is excellent. You're hearing a little bit of basic music in the background from the mansion, from Deathmark. Because I have the game paused right now, and that's what you hear in the background music from, is the mansion in Deathmark. So, yeah, there's a lot of piano, there's also a lot of really eerie, creepy sound effects and stuff. That's the thing. 50 to probably, give or take, probably I'd say between 50 up to maybe 70% of the game, like the area of the atmosphere and everything, is from the music. Since you're mostly still pictures, though, the artwork is still important. definitely sound effects and everything is going to be key to adding that extra element of hesitation or to speed things up and to be weary. That's where most of the atmosphere and importance in those elements is in the music. That is very key. Just like the old school Resident Evil games, music was very important to like Resident Evil 1 in the mansion, or Resident Evil 2 and like the police station stuff. It really helped build momentum, it helped build stress or different emotions. That is key for atmosphere in games, especially text-heavy games like this, investigating and everything. Music is very key to the game in order to really get you soaked into the atmosphere and the elements of the game. But overall, from what I've played so far, I think it's a really good game since I enjoy puzzle games and investigate type games and stuff like that actually requires using my brain. I really appreciate that, and one of the reasons, at times it will get kind of hard with the speed and everything for how the point system works. You will die sometimes just starting on the game, I will say that. But it is a solid overall game. If you enjoy this type of stuff, you like good atmosphere, good music, and just good storytelling, this is a game to pick up, in all honesty, and you can get this game for like $20 or so on the Switch. I consider it more than worth $20 asking price. I do think it will definitely turn off some people. I'm not going to give this an A+, because of certain things in it. But, still, I give this game an A-. Not a perfect score, but definitely still, if I was to give it a score overall, I'd probably give it maybe between 8.5 and a 9 out of 10. So yeah, it gets an A-. It's a really good, solid game overall. And if you get a chance, play it. There's a reason why it's M-rated, though, because of a lot of the definitely warped and graphic imagery in the area of like blood, gore, and stuff, but it's kind of to be expected for a horror themed game. You kind of expect that. And there's a lot of emphasis on the supernatural and everything, plus interacting with obviously spirits, and specifically the living doll, Mary. But that's it for now. If you're curious about what the actual game looks like, you can find gameplays here on YouTube of it to actually get a better idea of how it looks, but I say experience it for yourself without watching anything previous. I read about the game before playing, but I never watched any gameplay, so it wouldn't ruin the experience for me personally. And I think that was a smart decision, and I would say the same for you if you're interested in checking out. With that said, I hope everyone out there has a happy Halloween, and I'll see y'all next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel. Stay tuned, in probably the next week or two, I will make an announcement of my next game review for the Nintendo Switch, so stay tuned for that.